And welcome to KetoMom. This is Stephanie, aka KetoMom. I am Steve, I'm her husband, and today we get to go over part 4.5 to the amazing book, The Power to Change by Craig Groeschel. And if you're brand new here, we'd love to know where you're tuning in from.
Post new below.
We'd love to be able to connect with you, find out who you are, what your goals are, all those great things. We'd love to know how this book has made an impact on your life. So thanks for tuning in. Stephanie,
I think it's been an amazing book. All right, here's the book that we've been going through. We're almost done. It's the last chapter. We'll dive into the last chapter tomorrow. But here is the title of this chapter. It says, "You reap after you sow." And so in the very beginning of the book, he said, there's actually a lot of things I want to talk about. I was thinking this morning as I was getting ready for the morning. And basically he says, if you're a farmer or you're going to plant something in your little garden, or maybe you have a big garden, or you're going to plant a seed of investment, you're going to dive into the gym, you're going to work on your marriage. He just said this, you would never as a farmer take a seed, put it into the ground, and then stand there and wait for it to grow. Ever. Like that, just, you would be called crazy, right?
Like just waiting for it to grow.
To go back there every single morning for the next 2 weeks and be like, why did you not grow, little avocado tree? Why did you not grow, lemon tree or corn stalk or wheat bundle? I don't understand.
Bundle.
Right?
So what are we supposed to do?
And so he's talking about the power of reaping and sowing, and you reap after you sow. And so he says, he talks about that. He goes, hey, the same is true in your life, right? We often can get discouraged because we plant these seeds. So here's what I'll tell you about my morning, and then Steve can dive in, and here's what I was thinking about this morning. We have been stretching for the last 5 days, right? I hurt my back, and then I put the who before the do. I realized that if I want to be more, well, I don't want to phrase it that way. If I want to be able to get on and off the ground, to run around with my kids and grandkids in the future, like if I want to be the best, healthier version of me, I have to do something now, even when it hurts. I was looking at my vision board just like 15 minutes ago while I was getting ready in my bathroom, and I have all of these things of different habits and goals I wanted to start this year. Steve handed me my little checkoff calendar a few days ago that was supposed to be in our home gym. And it had January, so I made this little calendar, right? And it had January through December. And I was going to start giving myself gold stars. I've shared this before. And I was going to work on my pull-ups. I was going to work on my stretching, and I was going to work on my walking 3 miles a day and CrossFit. So we've successfully done CrossFit. I said one gold star, and I did not start anything else until last week. And so I took the calendar and I wrote fail over January, February, March. I was super frustrated. And then I was thinking this morning as I was looking at my vision board, I was like, this is what Craig talks about. I set too many goals. I was already doing one. CrossFit was great. So I said, if I keep stretching the rest of this year, hands down, I will count it as a success. Because I feel like more than learning how to do an unassisted pull-up, I hands down need to be stretching. So I looked at my vision board and I said, all right, not overnight. And I actually was sitting on the ground last night as we were stretching. Yeah. And I was really discouraged. I was discouraged because I was trying to touch my toes and we were stretching and it was hurting. And I was like, it's been 5 days.
More stretchy yet.
It has been 5 days. And why can I not touch my toes? I know how to walk myself through that, but it's interesting how fast your mind can get discouraged. I got a message from somebody this morning, and I took a screenshot. If you're listening to me, I actually don't remember her name, but I remember her story. And her story is this, because I'm going to go send her a message as soon as we're done. Her story was, Stephanie, I just found you on KetoMom, or I just ordered ketones, but I've been super hardcore keto, or my goal has been so great. I've been so focused since March 14th. I haven't seen any results. She was frustrated. And if you've been going through this book with us, we've been talking about the who before the do, the small steps, the small wins, the habits over time.
So 16 days.
16 days. I said, so what you're telling me is you've been doing this for 2 weeks, right? So I asked her a series of questions. I'll come back on and message her. And this isn't to make her or anybody else feel bad, because I get messages like this all the time. And I ask myself this question.
It's good.
Why have I not seen results? I've been stretching for 5 days. Or why haven't I seen results? Oh, because I haven't been working on my pull-ups. I haven't done any of those goals. Or it's only been 2 weeks. And I just think he says it in here. He's like, listen, a farmer doesn't plant a seed and reap the harvest. I was actually thinking, we live all around farmland. I know he's going to give some great valuable. I just have to get this out because I'm really.
I like it.
Okay. We were talking about investments. We're going to talk about that in a second, because there's things you can get worked up about. Hold on. No, I want you to stand next to me.
No, you're fired up. I love it.
Here's what I'll say.
A matter of perspective. Can I just, before
it
you
really
say something?
Is.
So there's I can't see the comments, but I just saw it. And she said, girl, I can't even see my toes. So it's a matter of perspective.
It is. I get it for sure. Because we all want what we maybe don't have, or if we're going after a goal, we want it very quickly. The basis of the chapter 4.5 and the last couple chapters is really have an understanding of you reap what you sow, but not overnight. We live around all farmland. And I was thinking of the farmers today, and I was thinking, we still have snow on the ground. We might get a snowstorm today. Hi, it's almost April. Last year at this time, we already had 50-degree days. If I'm a farmer, I'm thinking, I can't even plant a seed to get a harvest yet. Right? And when we watch the farmers around here, it's actually quite insightful, and it's really fun to watch, because they'll till up the land and then they plant the seeds, and then there's nothing for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then we watch it grow teeny tiny. And then I remember in October, we were driving past all the fields, and the girls and I were like, when are they going to harvest this? Like, they had to wait. Almost a year, not 8 months. Let's say they wait 8 months. That's a long time.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then I had one more thought.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Ready.
I'm really feeling this reaping and sowing, because Steve and I did some great investments working with different people in different areas. Let's talk about finances, right? And we were talking this morning about some things that we want to do as a family. We technically can't do those things until we reap a harvest of all of the investments that we've done.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And so I was like, oh my goodness, we bought land with some investors in North Carolina. And I asked him, hey, where are the houses at? And he's like, we haven't even gotten the contracting figured out. And I'm like, what? That means that we bought some land. The house isn't even being built yet. When are we going to see that harvest? Maybe in a year, right? Or like some other investments in Oklahoma or here locally. I'm like, hi, when are we going to see that investment so that we can do some other things? And he's like, when they're ready.
I bet you we'll get our investments back when you can touch your toes.
When I can touch my toes. Here is what I want you to help understand, whether it's with your marriage, with your fitness, with your finances. Craig says it in the book, and he says this. He says, the same is true for your life, but so people get so frustrated because it's not in the now. It's not overnight. You don't get to lose the weight in 2 weeks, maybe a couple pounds. Maybe it's usually water weight. He goes, that's why people get so discouraged, right? And so we have to understand the power of sowing and reaping and the longevity of it. He goes, you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. That's the basis of this chapter.
Yeah. And so,
anything you want to say?
No.
I was really.
Let's just ask them these questions. This is basically.
There's a lot of harvest that we're waiting for.
Yeah, but right? I think so. I guess you could ask yourself this question: What have you sown into? What are you sowing into? What are you working on?
That's good.
Where have you given up? Where do you need God's help to get started again? Maybe that's where you're sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when you're stretching, you're like, all right, I'm doing this for a purpose, for a reason.
Right.
Have you written that down? Where are you struggling and being tempted to give up and need God's help to endure? That'd be a great question to answer today. Where are you experiencing a harvest? And are you reaping more than you have sown? Some of you could be in that harvesting season right now. How amazing would that be if Stephanie could actually do her pull-ups and touch her toes and not be in pain when she's stretching? That day will come. The day will come where the investments we've sown seed into, which was good soil, will return a harvest.
Yeah.
And when we have that, guess what? We may not have this background, but we may be in Florida.
I think that
So it's all a matter of
it
perspective.
is a matter of perspective. It really is. And usually people are all waiting for something. And if you have the perspective of the harvest is coming, probably not as fast as we want it, but it will come in due time if we do not give up.
Yeah, I do like this. This comes out of Psalms, but it says, you're like trees planted along the riverbank, bearing fruit each season. And the cool thing is there's a riverbank that just flows right around our property. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all that they do. So we hope that this is an encouragement to you today.
Did I seem like not encouraging?
Well, I think so often, especially here in America, and I don't know for those of you who are tuning in from maybe a different country, or even, I'll just say it, like,
you can just say it.
We're working on this with our children. Instant gratification is a really sad reality.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I mean, do you remember the days where we would be driving in a vehicle and we were so excited to hear the song on the radio because we've had to wait for a day and a half before we could hear it?
Yes.
Right? And then there was no like, just rewind it, listen to it again. Like,
or you did, and you had to rewind the tape deck when you did have a tape.
Yeah. So, and I'm saying technology today is amazing, but I think it's a matter of mindset. It's a matter of perspective. I mean, I can't see the name who said, girl, I can't even see my toes compared to you attempting to grab and hold your toes.
Right.
But we're all in different seasons. We're
Right.
all in different areas. We're all in different categories. And the beautiful thing is this is a community, this Keto Mom Secrets community, this Keto Mom community. If you're listening to the podcast, go over to Facebook, hop on Instagram. But the reality is there's a community of people who are like-minded.
Right.
Our hope and our passion is that it's a community where people are needed and known. I love more than anything when people share their dreams, they share their visions, they share where they're from, and they can find other like-minded people to do life with.
Yeah.
Because the reality is we are better when we're together. The reality is we are better when we're pursuing our dreams instead of sitting on the sidelines and saying, oh, why is my harvest not here yet? Like, instead of the complaining, what can we do to develop and sharpen our mindset? What can we do to develop and sharpen our skill set to put some of those habits into place? So in a year from today, when we look back and we're like launching into April 2024, we're like, oh my goodness, look at how far I've come because I didn't complain, because I didn't whine, because I didn't make excuses.
I didn't give up.
I just put into practice. I kept training. I stopped trying and I trained, and just look. So dream with us today where you're going to be in a year from now. And so I hope that this was an encouragement to you.
I came out ripping and roaring, and he completes me because he's very calm. I love it.
Unless you see my nonverbal faces. I found out 2 days ago that when I'm asking somebody who I respect and honor questions, I don't get nervous, but my ears get really red. And so that's my new focus, is to be able to control the blood flow to my ear so that I have total self-control and self-mastery.
All right. So
communication.
Here's the basis of all of this. Please don't give up. Know that it's a journey. We're here to help you. You can always send us a message. You can ask questions below. We'll send you a message back. Continue to tune in. If this is the only community you have and you don't have people around you that you feel like support you, friend other people that you see commenting, like reach out and form relationships. That's why I say, where are you tuning in from?
Right.
Because you might find somebody in your same town. We had asked that a while ago in the fall, and 2 girls that were in the same town have now become great friends because of this, and they hold each other accountable. And so it's super fun to see that. We're here to help you. Reach out with questions. We'll continue to this book. We're almost done with it. Thank you for tuning in. You can always go to ketomomsecrets.com. And that's it. We hope you guys have a great day. Don't give up. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.